Hello, good morning, and welcome. I'm Rio Vargas with the Mighty Misfit Menagerie, and I'm here to talk to you about barbarians. More specifically, their archetypes, even more specifically, proposed archetypes that may be in Tasha's Cauldron of Everything. In this kind of content, we're looking to explore archetypes, talk about their features, and in the end, I'll give a little bit of my opinions on what this class would be best be used for, what builds. As a filthy multiclasser, I feel that information is very useful. If you do not, you don't have to watch the end of the video. If this kind of content is something you've just been itching for, give us a like and leave a comment for what archetypes you'd like to see in the future. Anyway, let's begin. Barbarians gain archetype features at 3rd, 6th, 10th, and 14th level, meaning you'll see a bit of utility mid-game, but nothing crazy capstone-wise. Now, for the archetype we're going to cover specifically, we're going to cover the Wild Magic Barbarian. This one was previewed very recently, and as of this video has not been released yet with the book, but we're going to record it anyway. Wild Magic Barbarian is suffused with magic from the outer planes, manifesting in a roiling tundra of barely controlled emotions. At 3rd level, the Wild Magic Barbarian gains 2 new abilities, Magical Awareness and Wild Surge. Magical Awareness is a fun little ability that gives you Detect Magic, essentially, letting you sense spells and magic items for a turn as an action. What's important to note here, unless the creature's behind full cover, as the ability is worded, it would let you pinpoint even invisible creatures as it finds the spell itself. Fun for big idiots who can't pass Arcana checks. Interestingly, the number of uses per long rest is equal to your proficiency modifier, meaning this would grow even if taken as a dip from another class, just furthering the unlimited power of our angry boys. Wild Surge adds utility to your rage mechanic. Upon entering a rage, as a bonus action, a random effect takes place as determined by the Wild Surge table. As of the preview, it only has 8 options, but all of them are pure gold as far as I'm concerned. As far as granting fun magical utility or straight up damage to the angry boy. Fun fact, all of your spell save DCs are based on Constitution, meaning you don't have to worry about those pesky mental stats. You still won't need those, so you can be illiterate if you want to. No need to go with int. Jokes aside, this ability is amazing, and this archetype well worth the 3-level dip for any strength-based melee character or somebody who likes to get up close and personal looking at you, Barbarian. Moving on, we have starting at 6th level, you can gain the ability Bolstering Magic. Bolstering Magic is a fun ability that uses your action and doesn't require that you touch a creature in question. So mamby-pamby casters and ranged users who like to stand really far away from where all the action happens have to sit this one out unless they get it at the very beginning of the combat. While you're doing all the work up front, you have 2 options. You may either grant a buff for the next 10 minutes that lets you add 1d3, because 1d4 would be ridiculous, to any attack or ability check. Why you would waste this precious gift on anyone but yourself is absurd. Alternatively, you could waste this ability and grant 1d3 levels of spells back to one of your casters. I mean, the choice is obvious. Why does the wizard need spell slots? They're just going to cast Fireball on you again. Keep in mind, you can only use this ability a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus before taking a long rest, which again makes this good for really complicated multi-class builds that do need 6 levels of Barbarian for whatever reason. Okay, now for level 10. Probably the highest level any of us get to play before the DM gets bored to try his My Hero Academia RP he's been working on all summer and insists that you don't need to have watched the show to get what's going on, but you play it for 1 session and you're completely lost. Anyway, the ability is Unstable Backlash. So the ability lets you, when taking damage or failing a saving throw, re-roll on the Wild Surge table, not the Wild Magic table, Wild Surge table, and gain a new effect. Situational, but if you have an effect that isn't helping you out anymore, or one that is working against you, this could be a handy way of tickling the dice gods and getting something new. And then lastly, at 14th level, you gain the ability that whenever you roll on the Wild Surge table, you can roll twice and take either result. Useful, yes, but no one ever gets to level 14 anyway. So if you're playing the game right, you shouldn't have 14 levels in any of the classes. You should have like 8 different classes that all have 3 or 4 levels. I mean, that's how I like to play. I digress. Anyway, while it looks like this archetype would have the risk reward of the wild magic sorcerer or like the randomness of it, in reality, none of the wild surges are negative. Each one adds either a fun ability to use with your bonus action or a powerful AoE. And with a DC stacking with Constitution instead of Wisdom or Intelligence, it doesn't have the mad problem that other melee magically archetypes like the Eldritch Knight or the roguey magic guy whose name escapes me right now. Anyway, they don't have those problems because you don't need to also have a high int on top of your high strength, on top of your high dex, on top of your high constitution. You just get to use constitution. So all those beautiful hit points just turn into magic doom. This would make for a fun Genasi barbarian tied to the elemental chaos, or like maybe an elf who's tied to the Feywild, or a druid barbarian hybrid that kind of focuses more on just wild magic surging out of them. Honestly, this is on my list for what I'm going to play next. It's a toss-up between this or Armorer Artificer because I love giant mechs. Anyway, my name is Rio Vargas. This has been us talking about the Wild Magic Barbarian. Please like, comment about what you think on the class or what class you'd like to see next. Follow us on Patreon. Always fantastic. Subscribe to us on YouTube if you haven't already. I don't know why you're watching this video if you haven't subscribed to us yet. I didn't make this for you. I made this for my subscribers. Anyway, like I said, I'm Rio Vargas with Mighty Misfit Menagerie, and have a pleasant day.